Have you ever wished you could understand people better? Imagine walking into a room and instantly knowing who is nervous, who is confident, and who is pretending. Imagine being able to read faces, voices, and body language as easily as reading words on a page. Imagine responding in a way that makes people feel heard, respected, and connected to you. This is the power of social intelligence. Social intelligence is more than being friendly. It is the art of understanding people and responding in the right way. It is about seeing beyond words, noticing feelings, and creating trust. People with high social intelligence succeed in relationships, careers, and leadership. They know how to connect. They know how to influence. They know how to bring out the best in others. This audiobook is your guide to mastering social intelligence. You will learn how to read people's emotions, how to listen deeply, how to communicate with impact, and how to handle difficult situations with grace. You will see how small changes in your words, tone, and body language can transform your interactions. Before we begin, I invite you to stay with this audiobook until the end. Each chapter is designed to give you practical tools you can use every day. And if you enjoy this journey and want more powerful audiobooks like this one, make sure to subscribe and stay connected. Now, let us begin. Let us unlock the hidden art of reading and responding to people. Welcome to Social Intelligence Mastery. Chapter 1. What is social intelligence and why it matters? Every day, you live in a world filled with people. You talk to family, friends, co-workers, neighbors, and strangers. Some conversations feel easy, natural, and warm. Others feel awkward, tense, or confusing. Why is this? Why does one person make you feel comfortable while another makes you feel uncomfortable? The answer often lies in social intelligence. Social intelligence is the ability to understand people and deal with them wisely. It is the skill of reading emotions, sensing moods, and knowing how to respond in the right way. Some people call it people skills, but it is deeper than that. It is not just about being polite or friendly. It is about truly understanding human behavior and using that understanding to build better relationships. Think about someone you admire who seems good with people. Maybe they are a leader who inspires trust, or a friend who always knows how to comfort you, or a teacher who can connect with every student. These people may not be the smartest in the room, but they have something powerful. They know how to connect. That is social intelligence in action. Why does social intelligence matter? Because success in life is not only about knowledge or talent, it is also about relationships. You may have the best ideas, but if you cannot share them clearly, no one will listen. You may be skilled at your job, but if you cannot work with others, you will struggle. You may love someone deeply, but if you cannot understand their feelings, the relationship may break. Social intelligence is the bridge that connects you to people. Social intelligence begins with awareness. It is the ability to notice what is happening in a social situation. You can see the look in someone's eyes, the tone in their voice, the way they sit or move. These small signals reveal big truths about what they feel and think. When you are socially intelligent, you pay attention to these signals instead of ignoring them. But social intelligence is not just about reading others, it is also about responding wisely. If someone is nervous, you know how to calm them. If someone is angry, you know how to listen without making things worse. If someone is excited, you know how to share their joy. Responding well is what makes people feel respected and valued. This is why social intelligence builds trust. When people feel you understand them, they open up. They feel safe around you. They want to work with you, listen to you, and follow you. Trust is the foundation of strong relationships, and social intelligence is the tool that creates it. Social intelligence also helps you in difficult moments. Life is not always smooth. Conflicts happen. Misunderstandings happen. But if you are socially intelligent, you can handle these moments with grace. You do not explode with anger. You do not run away in fear. Instead, you listen, you stay calm, and you find solutions. This skill makes you stronger in every area of life. Another reason social intelligence matters is influence. People with social intelligence can inspire, motivate, and guide others. They do not control with force, but with understanding, because they know what people feel. They can speak in a way that moves hearts. Leaders, teachers, parents, and friends all use social intelligence to inspire action. Social intelligence is also connected to happiness. Human beings are social creatures. We need connection to feel alive. Studies show that people with strong social skills have healthier relationships, less stress, and more joy. They feel supported and connected, while people with weak social skills often feel lonely and misunderstood. Learning social intelligence is not just about success, it is about happiness. Many people think social intelligence is a gift. You are either born with it or not, but this is not true. Social intelligence is a skill. Just like you can learn to play an instrument or cook a meal, you can learn to read people and respond wisely. Some people may start with natural talent, but everyone can improve with practice. To build social intelligence, you must first understand what it truly is. It is not about manipulation. It is not about pretending or faking. True social intelligence comes from respect, empathy, and care. It is about seeing others as human beings with feelings and needs, just like you. It is about connecting in a way that helps both sides. So ask yourself, how well do you understand people? Do you notice their emotions, or do you miss the signs? Do you listen deeply, or do you only wait for your turn to speak? Do you respond with care, or do you react without thinking? These questions open the door to growth. As you continue this audiobook, you will see that social intelligence is not one single skill, but a set of skills working together. Reading body language, listening with empathy, asking the right questions, controlling your own emotions, and adapting to different people. All of these build social intelligence. Each chapter will give you tools to practice and master these skills. But first, you must remember why this matters. Social intelligence matters because life is about people. Every opportunity, every partnership, every friendship, every love comes through people. If you understand people, you open doors. If you ignore people, you close them. In the next chapter, we will dive into the basics of human connection. You will learn why humans are wired for social bonds and why connection is the heart of communication. This will give you the foundation you need to grow your social intelligence. Chapter 2. The Basics of Human Connection. Human beings are not meant to live alone. From the beginning of time, survival has depended on connection. Early humans hunted together, protected each other, and shared food. Alone, a person was weak, but together, people were strong. This need for connection has never left us. Even today, in a world of technology and independence, our hearts and minds still crave human bonds. At the center of social intelligence is the understanding that people want to feel connected. Every person wants to feel seen, heard, and valued. When someone listens to us with care, we feel alive. When someone ignores us, we feel invisible. Connection is not about how many friends you have. It is about the quality of the bonds you create. One deep connection can be more powerful than 100 shallow ones. The basics of human connection start with presence. Being present means giving your full attention to the person in front of you. In today's world, people are often distracted by phones, screens, or their own thoughts. But real connection only happens when you set those aside and truly focus. Looking into someone's eyes, listening to their words, noticing their tone. This is presence. Presence tells the other person, you matter right now. Another key to connection is empathy. Empathy is the ability to feel what another person feels. It is putting yourself in their shoes and imagining their experience. If someone is sad, empathy lets you feel their sadness. If someone is excited, empathy lets you share their joy. You do not need to agree with everything they say, but when you feel with them, you connect deeply. Empathy is the bridge from one heart to another. Trust is also a foundation of connection. Without trust, relationships remain shallow. Trust is built when your words and actions are consistent, when you listen without judgment, and when you respect what people share. Trust takes time to grow, but it can be broken quickly. Once broken, connection becomes difficult. This is why honesty and respect are so important for strong bonds. Another basic element of connection is communication beyond words. People often think connection is about talking, but much of it happens without speech. A smile, a nod, a gentle tone, or open body language can create warmth. On the other hand, crossed arms, a cold tone, or avoiding eye contact can block connection. Human beings communicate through their whole presence, not just their mouths. Connection also grows through shared experiences. When you do things together, work, play, face challenges, or celebrate victories, you create memories. These shared moments become the threads that tie people together. Think about your closest relationships. They are strong, not just because of words, but because of shared time and experiences. Listening is perhaps the most powerful skill in creating connection. Most people listen only to reply. They wait for their turn to speak, but true listening is different. True listening means putting aside your own thoughts and giving full space to the other person. When someone feels truly heard, they feel valued. Listening is not passive, it is an active gift you give to another person. Another important truth about human connection is that it must be genuine. People can sense when you are fake. They can feel when you are only pretending to care. Genuine interest creates real bonds. Fake interest creates walls. If you want to connect, you must truly want to understand and respect the other person. Human connection is also about vulnerability. When you open up and share your true thoughts or feelings, you invite others to do the same. Vulnerability creates closeness because it shows trust. Of course, not everyone deserves your deepest truth, but when you choose wisely and share honestly, vulnerability strengthens the bond. Why does all of this matter for social intelligence? Because without connection, social skills are empty. You may know how to talk, but if you cannot connect, your words have no impact. You may know how to lead, but if people do not feel connected to you, they will not follow with their hearts. Connection is the soul of social intelligence. So how can you practice connection in your daily life? Start by being present. When someone speaks to you, give them your full attention. Put down your phone. Look at them. Listen carefully. Show empathy by reflecting their feelings. If they are happy, celebrate with them. If they are sad, comfort them. Build trust by being honest and keeping your promises, and always aim to be genuine, not fake. As you do this, you will notice something powerful. People will open up to you more. They will want to spend time with you. They will feel safe with you. This is because you are giving them what every human being desires: connection. In the next chapter, we will explore one of the most important tools of social intelligence, body language. You will learn how people communicate without words and how you can read and respond to those signals. But remember this truth: social intelligence begins with connection, and connection begins with presence, empathy, trust, and genuine care. Chapter 3. Reading body language. When people speak, their words tell part of the story. But much of the story is told without words. The human body speaks through posture, gestures, movements, and expressions. This silent language is called body language. To master social intelligence, you must learn to read this language, because it often reveals the truth behind the words. Imagine someone saying, "I'm fine," but their shoulders are slumped, their eyes look down, and their voice is weak. Do you believe their words or their body? Most likely, you believe the body. This is because the body often shows what the person really feels. Words can hide, but body language often reveals. The basics of body language begin with posture. The way someone holds their body tells you a lot about their state of mind. A person standing tall with their shoulders back often feels confident. A person with hunched shoulders and a closed chest often feels insecure or tired. Posture is the frame that holds emotion. Facial expressions are another key. The human face is rich with signals. A smile can show warmth, but it can also be fake if the eyes do not match. Raised eyebrows may show surprise. Tight lips may show anger or stress. Rolling eyes may show disrespect. The face can change in seconds, revealing emotions faster than words. Learning to notice these changes helps you understand people more deeply. Eye contact is one of the strongest signals in body language. When someone looks into your eyes, it shows attention, respect, and interest. Too much staring, however, can feel aggressive. Too little eye contact can show shyness, dishonesty, or disinterest. The balance of eye contact often tells you how a person feels about the conversation. Gestures also carry meaning. Hands that move openly often show honesty and excitement. Hands hidden in pockets may show nervousness or lack of confidence. Crossed arms can mean protection or resistance. Nodding usually shows agreement, while shaking the head shows disagreement. Even small movements, like tapping fingers or bouncing a foot, can reveal impatience or anxiety. Body distance, also called personal space, is another signal. Some people stand close when they feel comfortable and connected. Others step back if they feel threatened or want space. Different cultures have different rules about space, but noticing when someone moves closer or farther can help you understand their feelings. Tone of voice, while not exactly body language, works alongside it. The same words can mean different things depending on tone. A soft tone may show care, while a sharp tone may show anger. A fast pace can show excitement or nervousness, while a slow pace can show calmness or sadness. Listening to tone along with body language gives you the full picture. But reading body language is not about judging too quickly. One gesture alone may not tell the truth. Crossed arms may mean resistance, but it can also mean the person is simply cold. Looking away may mean disinterest, but it can also mean shyness. The key is to look at clusters. When many signals point in the same direction, the meaning becomes clear. Reading body language also requires context. A person tapping their foot at the bus stop may just be impatient for the bus, not anxious in general. A person avoiding eye contact in a meeting may simply be tired, not dishonest. Always consider the situation before deciding what the signals mean. One powerful use of reading body language is to sense hidden emotions. Someone may say, "Yes, I agree," but if their tone is flat, their eyes avoid you, and their body leans away, they may not truly agree. Someone may say, "I'm okay," but if their lips are tight and their eyes look down, they may be upset. Reading these signals allows you to respond with care instead of just believing the words. Another use is building trust. When you notice someone's signals, you can respond in a way that makes them feel understood. If you see nervousness, you can calm them. If you see excitement, you can share their joy. If you see resistance, you can slow down and listen more. Responding to body language makes people feel seen at a deeper level. Reading your own body language is just as important. The way you stand, sit, and move communicates to others. If you want to appear confident, keep your posture open, shoulders back, and head up. If you want to show care, lean slightly forward, relax your face, and maintain gentle eye contact. Your body speaks before your mouth does, so choose what it says wisely. Practicing body language reading takes time. At first, you may notice only big signals, but with practice you will see the smaller details. You will notice a micro-expression, a tiny flash of emotion that appears for less than a second. You will notice a slight shift in tone. These details give you deep insight into people's emotions. Remember, body language is not about spying or controlling. It is about understanding and connecting. It is about respecting what people truly feel, even when they do not say it aloud. When you can read the body, you gain the power to respond with wisdom. In the next chapter, we will explore active listening, the art of hearing not just words, but meaning. Together with body language, listening will make you a master of connection. But never forget this truth. People may hide their feelings with words, but their body often tells the truth. Learn to read it, and you will learn to understand people. Chapter 4: The Power of Active Listening. One of the greatest gifts you can give another person is the gift of being heard. Most people believe they listen, but in reality, they only hear the surface. They wait for their turn to speak, or they get lost in their own thoughts. True connection requires something deeper. It requires active listening. Active listening means more than just hearing words. It means giving full attention to the speaker, understanding their feelings, and showing that you value what they are saying. It is not a passive act, it is an active choice to focus, to care, and to respond with presence. Think about a time when someone truly listened to you. They looked into your eyes, they did not interrupt. They made you feel safe to share. How did it feel? Most likely it felt powerful, comforting, even healing. That is the power of active listening. It makes people feel respected, valued, and understood. Now think about the opposite. Imagine trying to share your feelings while the other person looks at their phone, interrupts you, or rushes to give advice. How does that feel? Probably frustrating, maybe even painful. In that moment, you do not feel heard. You feel invisible. This is why active listening is so rare and so important. Active listening starts with silence. When someone speaks, resist the urge to fill the space with your own words. Give them room to express themselves fully. Silence shows patience and gives the other person confidence to open up. The next step is attention. Look at the speaker. Notice their face, their tone, and their body language. Do not let your eyes wander to screens or distractions. Your body should show that you are listening, leaning slightly forward, nodding gently, and keeping your focus on them. Attention is respect made visible. Understanding is the heart of active listening. Do not only focus on the words, but also on the meaning behind them. If someone says, "I had a hard day," active listening means asking yourself, what emotion do they carry? Are they sad, stressed, or angry? Listening with empathy means you hear both the words and the feelings. Active listening also involves feedback. This does not mean you must solve their problems. Often, people do not need solutions. They need understanding. Feedback can be as simple as repeating part of what they said or summarizing their feeling. For example, if someone says, "I'm so tired of working late every night," you can reply, "It sounds like you're feeling exhausted from your schedule." This shows them you are paying attention and that their feelings matter. Interrupting is the enemy of active listening. Many people interrupt because they are eager to share their own ideas or stories. But when you interrupt, you send the message that your words are more important than theirs. Active listening requires patience. Let them finish before you respond. Asking questions is another way to show active listening. But these should be gentle, open questions that invite them to share more, not closed ones that shut the conversation down. For example, instead of asking, "Did you like it?" ask, "How did that make you feel?" Questions guide the speaker to open their heart. Active listening also means controlling judgment. Do not rush to agree or disagree. Do not label their feelings as right or wrong. Simply allow them to be. Judgment creates walls. Acceptance creates safety. When someone feels safe, they share more honestly. Sometimes, active listening means listening for what is not said. A pause, a sigh, or a change in tone may reveal feelings hidden behind words. Paying attention to these small signs can help you understand the deeper truth. Active listening is powerful in all relationships. In friendships, it builds closeness. In families, it creates trust. In work, it strengthens teamwork. In leadership, it inspires loyalty. People do not follow those who talk the most. They follow those who listen the best. But perhaps the greatest power of active listening is healing. Many people carry pain inside them. When someone listens with true care, it lightens that pain. It makes the speaker feel less alone. Sometimes, listening can help more than advice, more than solutions, even more than action. Listening itself becomes medicine. To practice active listening, remind yourself each time you talk with someone, my job is not to talk. My job is to hear. Put away distractions. Give full attention. Listen for words and feelings. Respond with empathy. And above all, make the other person feel valued. As you develop this skill, you will notice people reacting differently to you. They will trust you more. They will open up more. They will feel drawn to you because you make them feel understood. That is social intelligence at its best. In the next chapter, we will explore empathy, the ability to feel with others and connect at an emotional level. Together with active listening, empathy will make your communication not only stronger, but also more human. But always remember this: people will forget your words, but they will never forget how deeply you listened. Chapter 5. Developing empathy. Empathy is the heart of social intelligence. It is the ability to feel with another person, to step into their shoes, and to understand their emotions as if they were your own. Without empathy, relationships remain shallow. With empathy, connections become deep and lasting. Empathy begins with attention. When you truly notice another person, you see the signals that reveal their inner world. Their eyes, their voice, their movements, all of these carry emotion. A sigh may tell you they are tired. A soft voice may tell you they are sad. A sparkle in the eye may tell you they are excited. By paying close attention, you begin to sense what they feel, even if they do not say it directly. But empathy goes beyond noticing. It is also about imagination. You ask yourself, what would I feel if I were in their place? What would this situation mean to me? This mental step allows you to share their experience. If a friend loses something important, you imagine losing something of your own. If a colleague feels nervous before a presentation, you remember how it feels to face pressure. Through imagination, you touch their world. Empathy does not mean you must always agree with someone. You may not share their opinion or make the same choices, but empathy allows you to respect their feelings, even when you see things differently. For example, a child may cry over a broken toy. To an adult, the toy seems unimportant, but empathy allows the adult to feel the child's sadness as real. Respecting emotions builds trust, even when perspectives are different. Listening plays a central role in empathy. When you listen deeply, you hear not only the words but the emotions behind them. You notice the pauses, the tone, and the energy. A person may say, "I'm okay," but empathy hears the heaviness behind the words. You sense the pain they are hiding. Empathy allows you to respond with kindness instead of rushing past their feelings. One challenge with empathy is judgment. Many people block empathy by judging too quickly. They think, this person should not feel that way, or if it were me, I would act differently. Judgment creates distance. Empathy removes judgment. It says, this is their truth, and I will honor it. By setting aside judgment, you open the door to understanding. Empathy also requires patience. Sometimes people need time to share their feelings. They may hesitate or struggle to find the right words. If you rush them, you miss the chance to understand. Patience gives them space. It shows you care enough to wait for their truth. Another part of empathy is response. True empathy is not only feeling with someone, but also showing that you feel. A gentle word, a kind gesture, or even silent presence can make someone feel supported. For example, sitting quietly with a grieving friend may be more powerful than any advice. Your presence itself says, I am with you. Developing empathy also means expanding beyond your own world. It is easy to understand people who are like you, but empathy grows stronger When you try to understand those who are different, people with different cultures, backgrounds, or beliefs may see the world in ways you do not. By listening and imagining their perspective, you widen your empathy. This not only makes you wiser, but also helps bridge divisions between people. Science shows that empathy has powerful effects. When people feel understood, their stress decreases. Their brains release chemicals that bring calm and comfort. Empathy literally heals. It strengthens relationships, reduces conflict, and creates cooperation. Teams with empathy work better. Families with empathy love deeper. Societies with empathy grow stronger. But empathy must be balanced. Feeling with others is powerful, but if you carry their pain too heavily, it can drain you. This is called compassion fatigue. To avoid this, remind yourself that empathy means sharing feelings, not absorbing them. You can care deeply without losing yourself. Healthy empathy supports others while keeping your own strength. To develop empathy, practice small steps each day. When someone speaks, pause your own thoughts and listen. When you see a stranger, imagine their story. When you face conflict, ask yourself how the other person feels. These small practices train your brain to think with empathy. Over time, it becomes natural. Remember, empathy is not weakness, it is strength. It takes courage to feel with another person, to open your heart to their world. But it is this strength that makes relationships deep and lasting. People may forget your advice, but they will never forget how you made them feel. Empathy makes people feel human, respected, and loved. In the next chapter, we will explore emotional self-awareness, the ability to understand your own emotions, because to connect with others, you must first connect with yourself. But keep this truth close. Empathy is the bridge that turns strangers into friends, and friends into family. To master social intelligence, you must first master empathy. Chapter 6. Emotional self-awareness. Before you can understand others, you must first understand yourself. Many people try to connect with the feelings of others, but struggle because they do not fully know their own emotions. Emotional self-awareness is the ability to recognize and understand what you are feeling in the moment. It is the foundation of emotional intelligence, and without it, empathy and connection remain incomplete. Think about a time when you felt angry, but did not know why. You snapped at someone, and later you regretted it. Or maybe you felt sad, but could not explain the reason, so you carried that sadness into your conversations. This happens to everyone. When we are unaware of our emotions control us. But when we are aware, we can control them. Emotional self-awareness begins with noticing. Throughout the day, emotions rise and fall like waves. Some are strong, like excitement, anger, or fear. Others are soft, like calmness or boredom. Most people move through their day without noticing these waves clearly. They simply react. But self-awareness means pausing to ask, what am I feeling right now? That simple question opens the door to control. Naming emotions is powerful. Instead of saying, I feel bad, you learn to say, I feel anxious, or I feel disappointed, or I feel lonely. Naming emotions turns confusion into clarity. It allows you to understand the exact state of your heart. When you can name it, you can manage it. Awareness also means noticing how emotions affect your body. Emotions are not only in the mind, they show in the body. Anger may tighten your jaw. Anxiety may quicken your heartbeat. Joy may bring energy to your face. By noticing these signals, you become more aware of your feelings in real time. Your body is often the first messenger of emotion. Another part of emotional self-awareness is understanding the triggers. Triggers are events or situations that spark emotions. Maybe criticism makes you defensive. Maybe silence makes you uncomfortable. Maybe praise makes you excited. Knowing your triggers helps you prepare. Instead of reacting blindly, you can pause and choose your response. Self-awareness also means accepting your emotions without judgment. Many people judge themselves for feeling certain things. They say, "I should not feel jealous," or "I should not feel afraid." But emotions are natural. They are signals, not sins. Self-awareness means saying, "Yes, I feel this," without shame. Acceptance creates space for growth. Understanding your emotions also helps you communicate better. When you know how you feel, you can express it clearly, instead of hiding behind silence or anger. For example, saying, "I feel stressed because of the deadline," is clearer and calmer than exploding in frustration. Emotional clarity makes relationships stronger because it prevents misunderstandings. Self-awareness is also key to self-control. If you do not know what you feel, you cannot manage it. But when you know, you can choose. You can take a deep breath instead of yelling. You can step away instead of fighting. You can share calmly instead of staying silent. Awareness gives you the power to choose your actions instead of being ruled by reactions. Another gift of emotional self-awareness is empathy for yourself. Many people are kind to others, but harsh to themselves. They push away their own feelings, telling themselves to be strong or get over it. But true strength comes from listening to yourself. When you honor your emotions, you heal faster. Self-empathy makes you healthier and more balanced. Developing emotional self-awareness takes practice. You can start with reflection. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what emotions did I feel today? When did I feel strong? When did I feel weak? What triggered those feelings? Writing these answers in a journal helps you see patterns. Over time, you begin to notice your emotions in the moment, not just afterward. Another practice is mindfulness. This means paying attention to the present moment without judgment. You can sit quietly, notice your breath, and observe your thoughts and feelings as they come and go. This practice trains you to notice emotions instead of being trapped inside them. Weekend self-awareness is not about controlling every feeling. It is about understanding and guiding them. Emotions are not enemies. They are signals that tell you something about your needs and values. Anger may tell you something feels unfair. Fear may tell you something feels risky. Joy may tell you something feels meaningful. By listening to emotions, you learn about yourself. Why does this matter for social intelligence? Because when you know yourself, you can better connect with others. If you understand your own anger, you can recognize it in someone else. If you understand your own fear, you can comfort another person's fear. Without self-awareness, empathy remains shallow. With self-awareness, empathy becomes deep and real. Emotional self-awareness also protects relationships. Many conflicts are not caused by what is said, but by hidden emotions that were not recognized. A person may be stressed from work, but take it out on their family. If they are self-aware, they can say, "I'm stressed, I need time to calm down." This honesty prevents damage and builds trust. Remember, emotional self-awareness is a lifelong journey. You will never be perfect, and that is okay. The goal is not perfection, but progress. Each day, notice a little more. Name your emotions a little clearer. Respond a little wiser. Over time, you will feel stronger, calmer, and more connected to yourself and to others. In the next chapter, we will explore emotional regulation, the ability to manage your feelings once you are aware of them. Together, awareness and regulation form the core of emotional intelligence. But never forget this, the journey to understanding others begins with understanding yourself. Chapter 7. Emotional regulation. Once you become aware of your emotions, the next step is learning how to regulate them. Emotional regulation means managing your feelings in a healthy way so that they do not control you or harm your relationships. Everyone feels anger, fear, sadness, or excitement. These emotions are natural. The difference between a person with low social intelligence and a person with high social intelligence is how they handle these emotions. Imagine two people who face the same situation. Both are criticized by a boss. One person reacts instantly, shouting in defense and storming out. The other person feels the same anger, but takes a deep breath, listens, and responds calmly. Which person builds respect? Which person protects their future? The difference is regulation. Both felt the emotion, but only one managed it. Emotional regulation does not mean suppressing or denying your feelings. Pushing emotions down only makes them stronger. Instead, regulation means acknowledging them and then choosing how to express them. It is the pause between feeling and action. That pause gives you power. One tool for regulation is breathing. When emotions run high, your body reacts, your heart beats faster, your muscles tighten, and your breath becomes shallow. By slowing your breath, you calm your body and signal your brain to relax. A few deep breaths can create the space needed to respond wisely instead of reacting blindly. Another tool is reframing. Reframing means changing the way you look at a situation. For example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, you can see it as disrespect, and anger will rise. Or you can reframe it by thinking, maybe they are in a rush for something important. The situation is the same, but your perspective changes, and so does your emotional response. Self-talk also plays a role in regulation. The words you say to yourself can calm you or inflame you. If you tell yourself, "This is terrible, I can't handle it," your stress will rise. But if you say, "This is hard, but I can manage," your mind becomes steady. Talking to yourself with kindness and strength helps you guide your emotions instead of being guided by them. Regulation also means knowing when to step away. Sometimes the best response is not immediate. If you are too angry or upset, it may be wiser to take a break. Walking, exercising, or simply sitting quietly can release emotional energy. When you return, you can respond with clarity instead of chaos. Another part of regulation is choosing the right expression. Not every feeling must be shared fully in every moment. For example, if you are nervous before a presentation, you may not want to show that fear to the audience. Instead, you regulate by channeling your energy into enthusiasm. If you are angry in a meeting, you may not want to explode. Instead, you regulate by calmly stating your point. Regulation means expressing feelings in a way that fits the moment and the relationship. Emotional regulation is not only about controlling negative emotions, it is also about managing positive ones. Excitement and joy are wonderful, but too much can sometimes cause problems. For example, celebrating too early can lead to mistakes. Sharing happiness in the wrong moment can seem insensitive. Regulation helps you balance all emotions so they serve you instead of harming you. Why is regulation so important for social intelligence? Because emotions are contagious. If you explode in anger, others may become defensive or afraid. If you stay calm, others may also calm down. Your regulation sets the tone for the group. People respect and trust those who can stay steady under pressure. They feel safe around them. This is the mark of true leadership. Regulation also protects your long-term goals. In the heat of emotion, you may say or do things you regret. Words spoken in anger can damage relationships. Actions taken in fear can limit opportunities. By regulating emotions, you protect your future from the cost of impulsive reactions. Developing regulation takes practice. At first, it may feel impossible to pause when emotions rise, but with awareness, breathing, reframing, and self-talk, you build the habit. Over time, the pause becomes natural. You begin to feel emotions without being ruled by them. This balance gives you freedom. Remember, regulation does not mean being cold or emotionless. It means being wise with your feelings. It means using emotions as guides, not masters. It means staying true to yourself while protecting your relationships. Think of a river. When it flows freely, it gives life. But if it floods without control, it destroys. Emotions are like that river. Regulation is the skill that keeps the river flowing in the right direction. In the next chapter, we will explore social awareness, how to notice and understand the emotions of others. When you combine self-awareness, regulation, and social awareness, you unlock the full power of social intelligence. But never forget this: emotions are powerful, but with regulation, you hold the power, not the emotion. Chapter 8: Social Awareness. Social awareness is the ability to notice and understand the emotions, needs, and concerns of the people around you. It is the skill of paying attention not only to what people say, but also to what they feel. While emotional self-awareness helps you understand yourself, social awareness helps you connect with others. Together they form the foundation of social intelligence. Every day you move through social spaces, at work, at home, in the community. In each of these spaces, people carry emotions that shape the atmosphere. You have probably walked into a room and felt tension even before anyone spoke. Or you may have entered a group and instantly felt joy and energy. This is social awareness in action, sensing the mood beyond the words. Social awareness begins with observation. People constantly send signals through their tone, body language, and expressions. Someone might say, "I'm okay," but their eyes are watery and their shoulders are low. Social awareness means noticing these small details. It is choosing to slow down, to watch, and to listen carefully. Another part of social awareness is empathy in practice. Empathy allows you to step into another person's experience. Social awareness expands that by allowing you to sense the feelings of a group. For example, a teacher with social awareness notices when the class is bored and changes their approach. A leader with social awareness senses when the team is stressed and offers support. It is about adjusting your behavior to match the emotional needs of others. Listening is a key tool for social awareness. Active listening, as we discussed earlier, means hearing the meaning behind the words. It also means giving space for people to share without interruption. By listening carefully, you gather clues about what others truly need. Sometimes people will not say directly, "I need help," but their voice, their silence, or their hesitation may reveal it. Social awareness allows you to respond before they even ask. Cultural awareness is also part of social awareness. People from different cultures may express emotions in different ways. For example, in some cultures, direct eye contact shows respect, while in others it may seem rude. In some groups, people speak loudly when they are happy, while in others, quietness shows calm. By being aware of cultural differences, you avoid misunderstandings and show respect. Social awareness also means paying attention to timing. Sometimes the right words at the wrong time can hurt instead of help. A joke may be funny in one moment, but painful in another. Advice may be helpful after someone has calmed down, but not in the middle of their anger. Social awareness is knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. Another part of social awareness is perspective taking. This means seeing a situation through another person's eyes. For example, if someone reacts strongly to a small problem, instead of judging them, you ask yourself, what might this problem mean to them? What past experience could make this reaction bigger for them than for me? Perspective taking softens judgment and builds understanding. Social awareness is not just about individuals, it is also about groups. In meetings, classrooms, or families, groups develop a shared mood. Sometimes the group is positive and engaged. Other times it is tired or disconnected. Socially aware people can read the group's energy and adjust their behavior. They might speak with more energy to lift the group or bring calm when the group is too tense. Being socially aware also means respecting boundaries. People may send signals when they want space or when they are ready to connect. Ignoring these signals can make others feel uncomfortable. For example, if someone avoids eye contact and gives short answers, they may not want to talk deeply at that moment. Respecting their space shows wisdom and care. Why does social awareness matter so much? Because it creates harmony. When you sense what people need, you can respond in ways that build trust and cooperation. Without social awareness, you may push too hard, speak too much, or miss important feelings. With social awareness, you create balance in relationships. Developing social awareness takes practice. Begin by slowing down and noticing more. Watch faces, listen to tones, and observe body language. Ask yourself, what might this person be feeling right now? Over time, you will begin to sense emotions, even before they are spoken. Social awareness also grows when you practice curiosity. Instead of assuming you know what someone feels, stay open. Ask questions gently. Say, "It seems like you're quiet today. How are you feeling?" Curiosity shows care and gives people permission to share. Finally, social awareness requires humility. You will not always read people correctly. Sometimes you will misunderstand. That is normal. What matters is your willingness to keep learning and adjusting. When people see you trying to understand, they feel valued, even if you do not always get it right. In the next chapter, we will explore conversational skills, the practical art of talking with others in a way that builds trust and connection. But remember this truth: social awareness is not about reading minds. It is about paying attention, caring deeply, and responding with respect. When you practice social awareness, you make people feel seen, and that feeling creates bonds that last. Chapter 9. Conversational skills. Conversations are the building blocks of human connection. Every friendship, every relationship, every partnership begins and grows through talking. Yet many people struggle with conversations. Some feel shy and do not know what to say. Others talk too much and do not let others speak. Some fear silence, while others fear rejection. The truth is that conversation is not only about words, it is about respect, listening, and balance. A good conversation begins with presence. When you talk to someone, give them your full attention. Put away distractions. Look at them. Let them feel that they are the only person in the world at that moment. Presence makes people feel valued, and this is the foundation of strong conversations. One of the most important conversational skills is asking questions. Questions open the door for others to share, but not all questions are equal. Closed questions like, "Did you like it?" only invite short answers. Open questions like, "What did you enjoy about it?" invite longer, deeper responses. Good questions show curiosity and respect. They tell the other person, "I care about your thoughts." Listening is just as important as speaking. Many people think a good conversation means being clever or saying interesting things. But the best conversationalists are often the best listeners. They let others speak fully. They do not interrupt. They nod, they smile, and they show with their body language that they are engaged. When people feel listened to, they want to keep talking. Another skill is sharing stories. Human beings are natural storytellers. Stories create emotion and connection in ways facts cannot. A story from your own life, even a small one, can make a conversation warm and memorable. But balance is important. Share enough to connect, but do not dominate the conversation with your own stories. Conversation is a dance, not a performance. Tone and pace also shape conversations. Speaking too quickly can overwhelm others, while speaking too slowly can lose attention. A friendly tone invites people in, while a harsh tone pushes them away. Pay attention not just to what you say, but how you say it. The music of your voice often matters as much as the words. Body language also plays a role. A smile, gentle eye contact, and open posture make people comfortable. Crossing your arms, looking away, or frowning can make people feel unwelcome. Remember, conversation is not only with words, but with your whole presence. Another important conversational skill is handling silence. Many people fear silence and rush to fill it, but silence can be powerful. It gives people space to think. It shows patience. Sometimes a pause allows the other person to share something deeper. Do not fear silence. Respect it as part of the flow. Conflict is another area where conversational skill is tested. When disagreements happen, many people raise their voices or become defensive, but a socially intelligent person listens calmly, acknowledges the other view, and then shares their own with respect, saying, "I see your point, and here is how I see it differently," builds more trust than attacking. Conversations do not always need agreement, but they should always carry respect. Humor is another tool in conversation. A gentle laugh can break tension, create warmth, and bring people closer. But humor must be kind. Jokes that hurt or embarrass others damage trust. The best humor is light, shared, and respectful. Adaptability is also important. Conversations are not all the same. Talking with a close friend is different from talking with a stranger. Talking with a child is different from talking with a boss. Social intelligence means adjusting your tone, words, and style to fit the person and situation. This flexibility makes people feel comfortable and understood. Remember that good conversations are not about winning. They are about connecting. You do not need to prove you are the smartest or funniest. You need to show you are interested and respectful. The goal is not to impress, but to connect. Building conversational skills takes practice. Start with small steps, ask more open questions, listen longer before responding, share stories but keep balance, pay attention to tone and body language. Over time, these habits become natural, and your conversations become deeper and stronger. Why do conversational skills matter so much for social intelligence? Because conversation is the main way people connect. Without it, relationships cannot grow. With it, you build trust, warmth, and understanding. A good conversation can open doors to friendships, opportunities, and even love. In the next chapter, we will explore conflict resolution, how to handle disagreements without damaging relationships. This is one of the hardest but most important parts of social intelligence. But never forget this: every great relationship begins with a simple conversation. Master this art, and you master connection. Chapter 10. Conflict resolution. No matter how kind, patient, or wise you are, conflict will always be part of life. Families argue, friends disagree, co-workers clash. Conflict itself is not the enemy. In fact, conflict can lead to growth, learning, and deeper understanding. The real problem is not conflict, but the way we handle it. Social intelligence gives us the tools to face conflict without destroying relationships. When most people face conflict, they react in one of two ways. Some fight, raising their voices, pushing their point, and trying to win. Others flee, staying silent, avoiding the issue, or walking away. Both of these responses can cause damage. Fighting too hard creates anger and distance. Avoiding too much leaves problems unresolved. The art of conflict resolution lies between these two extremes. It is about staying calm, listening carefully, and finding solutions that respect both sides. The first step in conflict resolution is controlling your own emotions. When you feel attacked or misunderstood, it is natural to become defensive. But reacting in anger rarely solves anything. Before you speak, pause. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself that the goal is not to win, but to understand. This pause creates space for wisdom instead of reaction. Listening is the next step. Many conflicts grow larger because people do not feel heard. Each person repeats their point louder and louder, hoping the other will understand. A true resolution begins when one person stops to listen. When you listen calmly and repeat back what you heard, the other person feels respected. Often just being heard softens their anger. Empathy also plays a powerful role. Try to imagine the situation from the other person's perspective. Ask yourself, why do they feel this way? What fear, need, or value is behind their words? For example, a coworker may seem angry about a small detail, but the deeper truth is that they feel disrespected. A friend may argue over plans, but the deeper truth is that they fear being left out. Seeing the deeper emotion helps you respond with care. Another key to conflict resolution is choosing your words wisely. Blaming words like "you always" or "you never" make people defensive. Instead, use I statements. Say, "I feel hurt when this happens," instead of "you hurt me." This shifts the focus from attacking to sharing your own feelings. It keeps the conversation calmer and safer. Finding common ground is another important step. Even in conflict, there are usually points of agreement. Maybe both of you care about the project's success, or both of you want the friendship to continue. Pointing out these shared values builds unity. It reminds both sides that you are not enemies but partners trying to solve a problem. Sometimes, resolution requires compromise. This does not mean giving up everything you want, but it does mean being flexible. Ask yourself, what is most important here? What can I let go of? And what must I keep? True resolution often comes when both sides give a little and gain a little. Compromise builds peace because it shows respect for each other's needs. Another part of conflict resolution is timing. Not every conflict should be solved immediately. If emotions are too high, it may be better to step back and return later. Saying, "I need time to calm down, let's talk tomorrow," is wiser than arguing in the heat of anger. Choosing the right time creates a safer space for resolution. Respect is the foundation of all conflict resolution. Even when you disagree, speak with respect. Do not insult, mock, or dismiss. Treat the other person with dignity, even when emotions run high. Respect keeps the door open for healing, while disrespect slams it shut. Conflict resolution also requires forgiveness. Holding on to anger, even after the issue is solved, poisons relationships. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or saying the hurt was okay. It means choosing not to carry bitterness. It means letting go so that both sides can move forward. Without forgiveness, conflict may end on the surface, but continue to live in the heart. In some situations, resolution may not be possible right away. Some conflicts are deep and take time. In these cases, patience is important. Keep communication open. Keep respect alive. Over time, healing may come. Even if complete agreement never happens, peace can still be built. Why is conflict resolution so important for social intelligence? Because unresolved conflicts damage trust, weaken relationships, and create stress. But when you resolve conflicts wisely, relationships grow stronger. People trust you more, respect you more, and feel safer with you. You become someone who brings peace instead of chaos. Think about the people you admire most. Often, they are not people who avoid conflict, but people who face it with wisdom. They stay calm when others lose control. They listen when others shout. They build bridges when others build walls. This is the power of conflict resolution. In the next chapter, we will explore influence and persuasion, how to guide others without force. But always remember this truth: conflict is not a sign of weakness in a relationship. It is a sign of humanity. What matters most is not avoiding conflict but resolving it with respect, empathy, and care. Chapter 11: Influence and Persuasion. Every day, in small and big ways, people try to influence each other. A parent encourages a child to study. A teacher motivates students to learn. A leader inspires a team to work harder. A friend convinces another friend to try something new. Influence and persuasion are part of human life. But there is a difference between manipulation and true influence. Manipulation is forcing or tricking someone for your own benefit. True influence is guiding someone in a way that respects their needs and choices. Social intelligence helps you become a person who can influence without pressure, who can persuade without tricks. At the heart of influence is trust. People do not follow those they do not trust. If they sense dishonesty or selfishness, they resist. But when they trust your character, they open their hearts. That is why influence begins long before the words you speak. It begins with who you are. Another key to influence is understanding the other person's needs and values. People are persuaded not by what you want, but by how what you offer connects to what they want. For example, if you are trying to convince a team to work late, telling them "because I said so" will not inspire. But if you connect it to their goals, "if we finish this project well, it will open new opportunities for all of us," they will listen. Influence grows when you connect your message to their motivation. Listening is just as important as speaking in persuasion. Many people try to persuade by talking more and more, pushing their opinion louder, but the wise persuader listens first. They ask questions, understand concerns, and then shape their message to answer those concerns. People resist being told what to do, but they respond when they feel heard and respected. Another part of persuasion is clarity. Confusing or vague messages do not move people. The clearer your message, the stronger your influence. Instead of saying, "This is good for you," explain why and how. Instead of giving 10 reasons, focus on the strongest one. Clarity gives confidence, and confidence invites agreement. Emotion also plays a powerful role in persuasion. Facts and logic are important, but people are often moved by feelings. A story, an image, or a personal example can touch the heart in ways numbers cannot. For example, telling a group that a new idea will save money is good, but telling them how it will improve lives is better. Socially intelligent persuasion blends logic with emotion. Another skill of influence is leading by example. People are more likely to follow what you do than what you say. If you want others to be positive, show positivity. If you want them to work hard, show your own effort. Words without action lose power. Action gives your words strength. Respect is also key. True persuasion does not mean forcing agreement. It means presenting your views strongly while respecting the other person's right to choose. When people feel pressured, they resist. When they feel respected, they consider your words more openly. Respect creates freedom, and freedom makes influence stronger. Sometimes influence requires patience. People rarely change their minds instantly. Seeds of persuasion often take time to grow. A child may resist advice today, but remember it years later. A co-worker may say no now, but agree later after reflection. Patience means trusting the process instead of forcing results. Another element of persuasion is confidence. People trust those who believe in their own message. If you speak with doubt, others will doubt too. If you speak with calm confidence, others feel secure. Confidence does not mean arrogance. It means steady belief in your words. Influence is not about always getting your way. It is about creating understanding and cooperation. Sometimes persuasion means guiding people closer to agreement, even if it is not complete. Sometimes it means inspiring them to see new possibilities, even if they do not agree right away. The goal is progress, not domination. Why does influence matter so much for social intelligence? Because relationships, leadership, and teamwork all depend on it. Without influence, your ideas remain silent. Without persuasion, your values remain hidden. With it, you can guide, inspire, and create positive change. Think of the people who influenced you most in life. Likely, they were not the ones who shouted the loudest. They were the ones who listened, understood, and believed in you. They were the ones who lived their words. That is true influence. In the next chapter, we will explore building trust and credibility, the foundation that makes influence possible. But remember this: persuasion is not about winning arguments. It is about connecting hearts and minds. Influence is not about control. It is about respect, understanding, and inspiration. When you master these, people will not just hear your words, they will follow your lead. Chapter 12. Building trust and credibility. Trust is the foundation of all strong relationships. Without trust, conversations feel shallow, teamwork breaks apart, and leadership loses power. With trust, people open up, work together, and follow with confidence. Credibility is closely linked to trust. It means people believe in your words and actions. To master social intelligence, you must know how to build both trust and credibility. Trust does not appear overnight. It grows slowly, like a tree. Every word you speak and every action you take either waters the tree or dries it. A single broken promise can damage it. while consistent honesty and care make it stronger. People may like you for your charm, but they only trust you for your consistency. The first step in building trust is honesty. People can sense when you are not telling the truth. Even small lies weaken the foundation. Honesty does not mean being harsh or rude. It means speaking with clarity and integrity. If you do not know something, say, "I don't know." If you make a mistake, admit it. Honesty shows strength, not weakness. It tells people they can rely on your words. Another part of trust is reliability. People must know that you will do what you say. If you promise to meet someone at a certain time, be there. If you agree to help, follow through. Reliability is built not through big promises but through small, repeated actions. Each time you keep your word, you prove yourself trustworthy. Respect is also essential for trust. When you treat people with dignity, they feel safe with you. Respect means listening without judgment, honoring boundaries, and valuing opinions even when they differ from yours. Disrespect breaks trust quickly, but when you show steady respect, people lean toward you with confidence. Credibility comes from knowledge and competence. If you speak about something, people must believe you know what you are talking about. This does not mean you must know everything. It means you take the time to learn, prepare, and share carefully. A doctor gains credibility by studying medicine. A teacher gains credibility by mastering their subject. A leader gains credibility by showing skill and vision. When people see your competence, they believe your guidance. But credibility is not only about knowledge, it is also about character. Someone may be smart, but lose credibility if they are arrogant or selfish. Character means showing fairness, kindness, and humility. It means putting others' needs alongside your own. True credibility combines skill with character. People follow not just the mind, but also the heart. Another way to build trust and credibility is transparency. Hiding information or acting secretive creates doubt. Transparency means sharing openly when appropriate. For example, if a project faces challenges, telling your team honestly builds more trust than pretending all is fine. People may not always like the truth, but they respect it more than false comfort. Consistency is the glue of trust. If you are kind one day and rude the next, people will not know which version of you to believe. If you praise someone today and criticize them unfairly tomorrow, they will lose faith. Consistency in behavior shows stability. It tells people they can count on you in all seasons. Listening is also part of trust. People trust those who hear them. When you give full attention, when you value their feelings, when you respond with empathy, you build a safe space. Listening says, "I care about you," and care is the soil where trust grows. Forgiveness also plays a role in trust. No one is perfect. You will make mistakes and so will others. Admitting your mistakes, apologizing sincerely, and learning from them restores credibility. At the same time, forgiving others when they admit mistakes strengthens bonds. Trust is not about perfection. It is about honesty and recovery. Trust and credibility are fragile. They take time to build, but can be broken quickly. That is why they must be protected carefully. Once broken, they can be rebuilt, but it takes patience and consistency. The best path is to guard them with every choice you make. Why do trust and credibility matter so much for social intelligence? Because they open doors that no charm or cleverness can. People may laugh with you if you are funny. They may admire you if you are talented, but they will only share their hearts, follow your lead, or believe your words if they trust you. Trust turns social skills into lasting relationships. Think about the people in your life you trust most. Likely, they are not perfect, but they are honest, reliable, respectful, and consistent. You know their words match their actions. You know they will stand by you. That is credibility in its purest form. In the next chapter, we will explore adaptability, the ability to adjust to different people and situations. But carry this truth with you. Social intelligence without trust is empty. Trust is the invisible thread that holds all relationships together, and credibility is the weight that makes that thread strong. Build them carefully, and you will master the art of connection. Chapter 13. Adaptability in social situations. Life is full of different people, places, and situations. You may talk to a close friend in the morning, meet a new client in the afternoon, and attend a family gathering at night. Each of these situations requires a slightly different version of you. The way you speak to a child is not the same as the way you speak to your boss. The way you act with strangers is not the same as the way you act with lifelong friends. This ability to adjust, to shift your behavior while staying true to yourself, is called adaptability. Adaptability is one of the most powerful parts of social intelligence. It means being flexible without losing your values. It means reading the situation and adjusting your tone, words, and actions to fit. People who lack adaptability often struggle. They may act too formal in casual settings, making others uncomfortable, or they may act too casual in serious settings, losing respect. Adaptable people, on the other hand, make others feel at ease because they match the moment. Adaptability begins with awareness. You notice the environment, the mood, and the people. Is the room quiet and serious, or loud and playful? Are people stressed, or are they relaxed? Adaptable people sense this atmosphere and adjust naturally. If the group is serious, they bring calm focus. If the group is light-hearted, they join the laughter. This ability makes them welcome everywhere. Another part of adaptability is communication style. Some people prefer direct, short answers. Others enjoy long conversations with detail. Some cultures value eye contact, while others see it differently. Adaptable people notice these preferences and adjust. They do not force their own style on everyone. Instead, they respect the style of the person they are with. Adaptability also means knowing when to speak and when to stay silent. In some situations, your opinion may be needed. In others, silence may be wiser. For example, in a heated argument, speaking too quickly may make things worse. Adaptability allows you to pause, wait, and then respond in the right way at the right time. Flexibility in emotions is another part of adaptability. Life is not predictable. Plans change. People behave unexpectedly. If you hold too tightly to your own expectations, you may become frustrated. But if you are adaptable, you stay calm when things shift. You adjust your emotions to fit the moment instead of letting the moment break you. Adaptability does not mean being fake. It does not mean pretending to be someone you are not. It means expressing different parts of your true self, depending on the situation. For example, you may be more playful with children and more serious with elders, but both sides are still you. Adaptability is about balance, not pretending. One of the biggest signs of adaptability is humility. You accept that you do not know everything, and that each situation may teach you something new. People who believe they are always right often clash with others, but adaptable people listen, learn, and change when needed. This humility makes them grow and makes others respect them. Adaptability also protects relationships. Imagine a friend who always insists on doing things their way. Over time, the friendship may feel one-sided. But a friend who can adjust, who sometimes chooses your way and sometimes their own, creates balance in families, in teams, in partnerships. Adaptability creates peace. Another gift of adaptability is resilience. Life is full of surprises, some good, some painful. People who are rigid often break under pressure, but adaptable people bend without breaking. They find new paths, new solutions, and new ways forward. This resilience makes them stronger in the face of challenges. To practice adaptability, start by observing more. Notice how people behave in different settings. Pay attention to group moods and individual styles. Then experiment with small adjustments. Try speaking more gently in one situation or more directly in another. Notice how people respond. Over time, these adjustments become natural. Adaptability is especially important in today's world. Cultures mix, workplaces change, and technology transforms communication. Those who cannot adapt fall behind. Those who can adapt thrive. They are able to connect with people from all backgrounds, adjust to new challenges, and build bridges where others build walls. Why does adaptability matter so much for social intelligence? Because no two people are the same. No two moments are the same. Social intelligence is not about having one fixed way of relating. It is about having the wisdom to adjust while staying true to your values. Think of water. Water has no fixed shape, yet it fits every container. It is soft, but it can also be strong. Adaptability is like water. It allows you to move through life with grace, fitting each moment without losing your essence. In the next chapter, we will explore leadership and teamwork, how social intelligence helps you guide groups and work with others. But always remember this: adaptability is not weakness. It is strength. It shows that you are aware, flexible, and wise enough to adjust, and that is why adaptable people are welcomed everywhere they go. Chapter 14: Leadership and Teamwork. Leadership is not about titles or positions. It is about influence, guidance, and the ability to bring people together toward a shared goal. Teamwork is not just about working side by side. It is about trust, cooperation, and the ability to combine strengths. Both leadership and teamwork rely deeply on social intelligence. Without the ability to understand and respond to people, leadership becomes control and teamwork becomes chaos. A great leader is not the loudest voice in the room. A great leader is the one who listens, who understands the needs of the group, and who inspires action through respect. People do not follow leaders because they are forced to. They follow because they trust them, because they feel seen, and because they believe the leader cares about them. This is why social intelligence is the soul of leadership. Teamwork is built on the same foundation. A team is only as strong as the relationships inside it. If members compete against each other, hide mistakes, or fail to communicate, the team breaks apart. But when members listen, share openly, and respect each other's strengths, the team becomes powerful. Social intelligence is the glue that holds this cooperation together. One of the most important leadership skills is vision. A leader sees where the team is going and communicates that vision clearly. But vision alone is not enough. The leader must also connect the vision to the hearts of the people. This means showing why the goal matters to them, not just to the leader. Social intelligence helps leaders connect purpose with people's values. Another skill is empathy. Leaders with empathy notice when team members are stressed, unmotivated, or struggling. Instead of ignoring these feelings, they respond with care. Sometimes this means offering encouragement. Sometimes it means adjusting the workload. Empathy does not make leaders weak, it makes them wise. It shows the team that their well-being matters. Communication is at the center of leadership and teamwork. Clear communication prevents confusion. Respectful communication prevents conflict. Honest communication builds trust. A socially intelligent leader communicates often, listens deeply, and makes sure every voice feels heard. In teamwork, members who communicate openly create unity, while those who stay silent or secretive create division. Another part of teamwork is recognizing strengths. Each person brings different talents. Some may be good at ideas, others at details, others at motivating, and others at organizing. A wise leader notices these strengths and places people where they can shine. A wise teammate values others' strengths instead of competing. Social intelligence allows you to see not only what people do, but also what they do best. Conflict is natural in teams, but with social intelligence, conflict becomes growth instead of destruction. Leaders guide disagreements calmly. Team members resolve issues with respect. Instead of breaking trust, conflict handled well strengthens it. Leadership and teamwork both depend on the ability to manage emotions and listen during tense moments. Trust is the fuel of both leadership and teamwork. Without trust, people hold back. They fear judgment. They avoid risks. With trust, people share openly, take chances, and give their best. Leaders build trust by being consistent, honest, and reliable. Team members build trust by supporting each other and keeping promises. Every act of trust makes the group stronger. In modern life, leadership and teamwork are everywhere. At work, teams drive projects. In families, parents lead and siblings cooperate. In communities, leaders and members work side by side. Those who master social intelligence thrive in these roles. They guide with respect, follow with humility, and create harmony. Adaptability also plays a role in leadership and teamwork. No team stays the same forever. Challenges arise, goals shift, and people change. Leaders and teammates who can adapt keep the group strong. Those who resist change hold the group back. Social intelligence teaches flexibility, allowing teams to stay united through change. Recognition is another important tool. Leaders who celebrate small successes build motivation. Team members who appreciate each other build loyalty. Recognition does not have to be big. Sometimes a simple thank you or good job is enough. What matters is sincerity. People who feel valued give more of themselves to the group. Why do leadership and teamwork matter so much for social intelligence? Because human beings achieve more together than alone. A single person can be strong, but a united team is stronger. A single leader can have vision, but only with people's trust can that vision come to life. Social intelligence makes this possible by creating respect, trust, and understanding among people. Think about the leaders you admire most. Likely they were not perfect, but they cared, they listened, and they guided with wisdom. Think about the teams you enjoyed being part of. Likely it was not because everything was easy, but because people respected and supported one another. That is the power of social intelligence in leadership and teamwork. In the next chapter, we will bring everything together by exploring the action mindset, how to use all these skills daily to become socially intelligent in every situation. But never forget this: leadership is not about power, and teamwork is not about tasks. Both are about people. And when you understand people, you unlock the full strength of leadership and the full beauty of teamwork. Chapter 15: The Socially Intelligent Mindset. You have now walked through the journey of social intelligence. You have learned about empathy, listening, awareness, adaptability, trust, communication, leadership, and teamwork. Each skill is important on its own, but the true power of social intelligence comes when these skills become part of your daily mindset. Social intelligence is not something you use only in special moments. It is a way of living, a way of seeing people, and a way of building connections every day. The socially intelligent mindset begins with respect. At the core of every interaction is the belief that the other person matters. No matter who they are, what they look like, or what they believe, they are human, just like you. Respect means treating everyone with dignity. It means listening even when you disagree. It means showing kindness even when you are busy. Respect creates safety, and safety creates connection. Another part of the mindset is empathy. This is not just an occasional act, but a habit of seeing the world through the eyes of others. The socially intelligent person does not rush to judge, but pauses to understand. They ask, what might this person be feeling? What might their story be? This habit softens the heart and builds bridges where others see walls. The socially intelligent mindset is also about self-awareness. You know your own emotions and how they affect others. You do not allow anger, fear, or pride to control your actions. Instead, you pause, reflect, and choose wisely. Self-awareness makes you steady, and steady people are trusted by others. Adaptability is another part of this mindset. Life is full of changes, and surprises. The socially intelligent person is flexible. They can adjust to new people, new cultures, and new situations. They do not cling to one way of doing things. Instead, they move with the flow of life while staying true to their values. This makes them strong, resilient, and respected. The socially intelligent mindset also values connection over control. Some people try to dominate others, forcing them to follow. But social intelligence is not about control, it is about cooperation. The mindset says, "We are stronger together. My role is not to win over you, but to walk with you." This attitude creates friendships, teamwork, and loyalty. Communication in this mindset is always honest and kind. Words are used not to harm but to heal, not to divide but to unite. The socially intelligent person knows that words carry power. They choose them with care, knowing they can build trust or break it. They speak with clarity, but also with compassion. Another part of the mindset is patience. People are not perfect. They make mistakes, misunderstand, and sometimes hurt each other. The socially intelligent person does not expect perfection. They are patient with others, just as they are patient with themselves. They give people time to grow, time to change, and time to heal. Patience turns temporary conflicts into long-term strength. Gratitude also shapes this mindset. Instead of focusing only on problems, the socially intelligent person notices the good. They thank others, celebrate small successes, and appreciate the people around them. Gratitude makes relationships warmer and makes life richer. The socially intelligent mindset also includes courage. It takes courage to face conflict calmly, to forgive, to listen deeply, and to open your heart. It is easier to avoid, ignore, or fight. But courage means choosing the harder, wiser path. This courage inspires others and creates lasting impact. Living with this mindset changes your life. People feel safe with you. They trust you. They share with you. Opportunities come your way because people want to work with you and support you. You become not only more successful but also more fulfilled. Success without connection is empty. Success with connection is meaningful. The socially intelligent mindset also changes the world around you. When you practice respect, empathy, and patience, you create a ripple effect. Others feel inspired to do the same. Families grow closer, teams work better, communities become stronger. One person's social intelligence can influence many lives. But this mindset is not about perfection. You will still make mistakes. You will still have moments of anger, impatience, or misunderstanding. That is part of being human. What makes you socially intelligent is not never failing, but learning each time you do. Every mistake is a lesson. Every challenge is a chance to grow. So how do you keep this mindset alive? By practicing daily. Each day, listen a little deeper. Each day, notice your emotions a little sooner. Each day, show kindness, even in small ways. Over time, these small acts build a strong habit. Social intelligence becomes part of who you are. In the end, social intelligence is not about tricks, strategies, or pretending. It is about being real, being present, and being human with others. It is about respecting yourself and respecting those around you. It is about building connections that give life meaning. As you finish this audiobook, remember that social intelligence is a lifelong journey. There is no final destination. There is only growth, one conversation, one relationship, one choice at a time. Carry this mindset with you into every room, every meeting, every friendship. Let it guide your words, your actions, and your heart. This is the socially intelligent mindset, the art of reading and responding to people, not just with skill, but with respect, empathy, and love. When you live this way, you do not just connect with others. You help make the world a better place.